Hi Cancer, it's Chronic Joy Tarot. This is going to be your September 2017 Zen Tarot reading. I've shuffled and pulled your cards here. The spread is the flying bird. This is the point of liftoff, and then we'll take flight and come to a new level of awareness. And the theme for you in the next few weeks, Cancer, is the tree, grounding. So what this calls to mind for me is either if you've been feeling a little bit scattered, a little bit shiftless, sort of, not centered, remember that quite literally the earth, you are made up of the elements of the earth. That's what your body is, and your water, your air, you're all of it, right? And so literally just getting out and grounding onto the earth, getting near trees, standing or sitting with your back rested against its trunk, feeling its strength, its integrity, the balance that it creates between heaven and earth, because it's reaching always for the heavens, but it's also grounded and rooted deep within. That sense of grounded balance is what you're seeking now. If it's not, if you don't feel scattered and it's not, then continue on with your sense of groundedness, because you're doing a fabulous job. But I know a lot of us can get ourselves really thrown off and not feeling intact. And a great way to do it is literally go out into nature and put your feet into the earth and, be around trees if you can, or other vegetation. Okay, so let's see where your starting point is here in relation to the sense of grounding. Okay, so yeah, inner voice. If you do find yourself not grounded as much as you'd like to be, then it's time to turn in. It's time to listen to your guides. And more than anyone, Cancer, you're so good at that, because you are, you do work from the inside out. Your emotions and that well of that depth of feeling that you carry is what guides you in your life. So if you're feeling a little out of touch with that and disconnected, literally disconnected from the earth, then connect. Get grounded. Listen to your inner voice. Your inner voice knows. Probably spend some more time in meditation would not hurt. And meditation does not have to just be, that a specific time or place, or you can be running and in a meditative state, right? Or listening to music and be in a meditative state. It's whatever it is that takes your mind off of that chatter and clearing those thoughts, and so that what you're left with is what's been uncovered is your internal guidance. Okay, so this card here is called the Fear of Flying. The whole thing's called the Flying Bird. Left side of the reading are internal energies and the right side are external. So let's see, the card in this position could be the thing that blocks your progress, and let's see what that might be. Well, it's the card of ordinariness. So there's two sides to this. So if you take this card as, oh, life is so ordinary and boring, and I have no direction and everything's just ordinary day to day, then I can see how you might not feel connected. You might not feel so grounded. You might not feel, in balance, because it's the ordinariness of life where it's, if you look closely, that's where the living is. Right? Just sitting in nature and allowing yourself to take in all that's happening. The wind's blowing through the trees, the birds are flying and landing, on a branch and making their nest, and, the insects are grabbing the nectar from the flower, or, the actual flowers are being watered and growing, and that's pretty ordinary, right? That stuff's always going on, but that's the beauty of life. So I think if you touch base with that like just that flow, that constant flow and knowledge that Earth and the universe will always be in flow. It will always be there. It will always be doing its thing. You can tap into it at any time. And if you do and get grounded with the trees, then you'll find you'll gain the appreciation, and the word ordinary won't seem so empty. It will seem beautiful. The ordinary is what sustains us, right? Okay. The first card that's in your external, real world position is the card of aloneness. So these, I'm getting two things. Spend more time alone, and if you're needing to find that you need to get grounded, then this is obvious, right? You need to do that. Turn inward, enjoy the ordinariness of each day, and go and meditate alone. But also what I'm going to say is that for the progress you're about to make, you alone are doing it. There is no other external force. There's nobody that's really going to ultimately tell you what you're doing is right and wrong. What you're doing is according to your own guidance, and it's always right. Your guidance is right for you in this moment. And then if it turns out to not feel so good in a little while, then you make another choice and you guide yourself again. So trust that you alone are navigating your way through your spiritual journey, and you're in charge of it, and it's a good thing. Okay? It's a very good thing. And maybe in your meditations or in your periods of grounding, you can really get that sense of power, of your self-empowerment by really acknowledging the power you have over the choices in your life. Another internal energy is going with the flow. So you are guided to not really resist too many external forces, and not resist maybe any emotions that come up in this process while you're getting yourself centered or continuing your centering. Emotions come and go, and we are the ones that are putting labels on them, right? Like if you feel sadness at one point, that's not a bad thing. That's just a thing, right? It's just a feeling. It's a feeling. Feelings are part of who we are, and not one state of being ever stays static. So it's always flowing, it's always moving, and if you can allow yourself to roll with that, your experience there will just be much more ease in your life. Okay? So within you, when you're doing your meditations, acknowledge, the ebb and flow. Acknowledge that in your life. And accept it. Okay? So again, here we go, turning in. It's really time for you to tap down and, get in touch with who you really are, and trust it. You're okay. I would say you're probably already in a practice of meditation and turning in and that kind of thing. But if you feel like you've fallen off a little bit lately and you're feeling your energies get a little shaky, it is time to re-engage in that. And if you already are in this process, then maybe find a new level just a new level of connection to yourself and to Source that elevates the experience for you just a little bit. Yes, you're coming onto a sense of abundance. And this is an internal energy, so you're going to feel this within. You're going to really feel a sense of appreciation and the richness of your life, and through this process of getting grounded, you'll get it right back. You'll get that richness right back. You'll be back in touch with all the things that make you you and make your life yours. You'll be right back in touch with it. Okay? Oh my goodness. Okay, Cancer, silence. Time, this is like, I don't know, it's like ground, listen to your inner voice, turn in, meditate, and sit in silence, and do it alone, right? This is all about your your spiritual development is, it's always happening. As much as we like to think, oh, we're going to go read a chapter or read a passage and that's going to make me more spiritual, or I'm going to, pray every day and that's going to make me more spiritual. Well, it's kind of a fallacy, because your spiritual growth is always happening, whether or not you're using a specific, book to read or song to sing or people to gather around you, and your own tribe that has the same spiritual affinity. It doesn't really matter how you consciously apply it, because it's always happening. And that's kind of what this, now you can do things like go and get grounded and meditate to enhance it, but remember, it's always happening. The course of your life was and is a spiritual experience. Everything you're learning and growing and expanding from is spirit working for you. Okay? All right, Cancer. So I hope this reading was, I hope you connected with it. If you didn't, check your rising and your moon signs on my channel, and maybe those will connect better. This is just a general reading, so it's not always easy to, land on everybody. But I hope this, at least unlocked a little something for you today. And I will be posting a mid-month update in a couple weeks. So I'll talk to you then. Thanks, Cancer.